Hi, I'm L.A Wilshaw. Welcome to Inside F2. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce you to Carlin's rookie driver, Logan Sargeant. Hi, Logan. How are you today?
Doing very good, very good. Just excited to get to the first round. Yeah, ready to go.
Are you excited for the season ahead?
I'm honestly ecstatic. We've obviously gotten through all the testing now. If it feels like ages since we've last raced. So to think that the lights are going out this weekend, we're going to get that adrenaline of the qualifying again. It's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it, and yeah, just going to do the best I can.
Well, you're from Florida in the US for those who are new to you. And of course, we have many new fans joining Formula 2 all the time. So it's obviously heavily affiliated with motor racing, Florida, with the Daytona Speedway, the Spring Raceway, you know, those immediately come to mind. When you had all of that available on your doorstep, what inspired you to be different and go into single-seater racing?
It's a good question, to be honest. I think at the time we were just looking for a bit higher competition in the karting scene, and that sort of brought us over to Europe. And from there, it just sort of spiraled together that we just continued on this route. And I think as a young driver, everyone's goal is Formula One, and I think making that early move to the European karting scene just sort of made that come more realistic. And yeah, we just stuck with it.
Yeah, because your brother Dalton is also a racing driver, and you know, you just mentioned the move to Europe, and you moved to Switzerland together. Is that right? Originally?
That is right. Yeah, we went to an American school in Switzerland for a little while. He then moved back to America, and then I moved to London for when I started car racing.
Once I think when you're going together, probably you felt maybe not as daunting. Is that right? And you know, do you think about the racing drivers that leave home alone? Because you know, you guys are quite young men to be leaving home and to be coming thousands of miles away from home. You know, how does that feel, and how did it feel once you returned to the States?
Um, it's tough. It's just sort of like it's a bit of a balance. It's obviously a big sacrifice leaving all your friends and family behind. But I just sort of look at it that I'll always, you know, be able to go back to that eventually if that's what I choose to do. So right now it's worth taking this time and really trying to reach the ultimate goal. And at least if I put in all the effort and I leave it all out there, then I can't ever regret it going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, between you and Dalton, are you quite competitive behind the wheel?
I'd, I'd say we're a competitive family, that's for sure. Uh, but no, we get along really well, so it's nice to have a supportive brother as well.
Yeah, definitely. But out of the two of you, who's the better driver?
Oh, I don't know. He hasn't drove in a few years now, so I'd say I'm fresher at the moment.
Brilliant. When you were growing up, when you were a lot younger before you moved to Europe, were there many opportunities to use karting tracks where you grew up? Is that something that's sort of on offer, maybe in Florida because of, you know, the racing there? Do you think as well that, you know, other kids with your ambition might struggle to find, you know, karting tracks?
Um, no, I'm sure there's some sort of all around. Whether they're good or not is a different story, but I'm sure if you really want to get into it, you could make it happen.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when Andretti Racing were associated with Alfa Romeo last season, your name didn't come up, which, you know, which for those of us that follow the feeder series, that was quite a surprise. IndyCar's Colton Herta was talked about, and he's just recently been announced as McLaren's MCL 35M testing on their testing program. Do you feel you were overlooked at that time?
Not at all, really. I'd only just come out of, you know, I just finished the third season of F3. You know, I feel like I needed to do Formula 2 as well, to be honest. And yeah, I don't feel like I was overlooked, especially with around that time is when my Williams Academy talk started. So I definitely didn't feel that way. I was just excited for what I had along the horizon.
Brilliant, brilliant. Well, you're now starting a season in Formula 2, and you are in a more advantageous position should a new American team such as Andretti come into Formula 1. So do you feel that you're now in a good position, the best position to be an automatic choice?
It's just a performance-based sport. So as long as the performances are there, I'd be quite confident that I can get there in the end. But it all just comes down to doing the job and making sure we win some races.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you've had a really good run up to this point, and I'll explain, to those watching. So in the UAE Formula 4, you were on the podium 15 times. I think it was out of
A
8.
long old time ago that was.
Absolutely, absolutely. But the F2 fans, they absolutely love their stats. They really do. So we'll give them what they want. And you finished second to your teammate back then. Then you were driving for Carlin in 2017. You won at Rockingham at Silverstone, which is a massive achievement to win at Silverstone in the British Formula 4. And then in 2020, a bit more recently, you partnered Frederick Vesti, Oscar Piastri with Prema, and you finished in third. And that was really close. That was only 4 points behind Piastri and 1 point behind Théo Pourchaire. So tell us if there's any standout moments in any of those seasons, in any of those races.
Stand out in terms of what I enjoyed, or?
Yeah, anything you might have really enjoyed, and maybe even anything that you feel was really beneficial as well to maybe where you are today.
For me, the most enjoyable race I've ever had was Macau. Obviously, I only got to do that one time, which was a bit disappointing, but for sure that was one of the best race weekends that I've ever had, and the track is just incredible. And then, yeah, obviously 2020 was a really big season for my career. Narrowly missed out on winning it. Unfortunately, it just didn't go my way the last couple of races. And but having Oscar and Frederick, and as well as Theo on the grid that year, it forced you to push yourself quite hard to keep extracting the most out of the car and get the best out of yourself.
Yeah. You've raced against them, obviously. We still have Frederick, we still have Teo, so you kind of know how to win against these guys. Does that fill you with a little bit of confidence this season that you know some of the drivers that you're going to be competing against?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the level is extremely high. I think we all know that. But in the end of the day, I know if I do a good job and I perform the best that I possibly can, then I know I can beat them. So that's the goal. And I just need to make sure I keep delivering, and hopefully that results in good results.
Yeah. Well, you're setting out your stall with Trevor and the Carlin team again this year. You're no stranger to the team. Does this give you an advantage knowing the team and the setup there so well?
It's definitely a benefit. I've worked with a lot of the guys in the team for, over the course of my Carlin years. So coming back to the team, it was nothing new. It was just like sort of coming home, I guess you could say. Felt very natural, and yeah, we got to work really quickly and made it all count.
Yeah. Well, the car was looking pretty handy last year. It finished with Dan, finishing in fourth. Do you feel like you have an opportunity to do as well this year, if not a bit better?
I think this is a great opportunity. I think we have a quick car, and my teammate's very strong as well, and Liam, so I can learn a lot from him going through the season. And I think having a good teammate like that as well, like I was saying, you can really push yourself to try and we can get the most out of each other, and hopefully we can just work well together and have a really good season between the two of us.
Yeah. Well, you remained in Formula 3 last season and you raced for Charouz. So first of all, there's a bit of a challenge going on online. Can I have your take on how you pronounce the team name of Charouz?
So I say Charouz. However, I know it's Haruz or Haruz, something like that. But it's it's like the C is silent.
So you gave the team their first Formula 3 victory in Sochi last season. So tell us about that race.
It was pretty special. We worked hard throughout the year to keep improving the car. I did see a Prema coming at me really quick for the second half of the race, so it was a little bit stressful at the end. But I knew he had everything to lose, and I had nothing to lose. So that settled me a little more and just brought to the finish. But no, they all deserved it. At the start of the year, I feel like we weren't particularly close to winning a race, and then by the end of the year in Sochi, we had two really, really good races. Even the feature race, we had good pace and we moved forward, and we had our best feature race as well. So all in all, we just kept moving forward.
Yeah, it was all pretty exciting watching last year, but on it was all highlighted on Chasing the Dream, the new season of that. And so I'm not sure if you've managed to watch that back yet and kind of get it from the perspective of the fans' point of view. Have you managed to watch yourself?
I haven't seen Chasing the Dream yet, but I saw all the Drive to Survive in one day. So.
Well, it's definitely easier. The episodes are shorter and there's not as many. So, but yeah, okay. So you had a pajama day then watching Drive.
Yeah, I did.
Well, you made your Formula 2 debut with HWA last season in Jeddah. And how did that happen? How did that come about? And what was the experience like at such a challenging circuit?
Yeah, it was definitely difficult. Especially not helping myself by crashing in free practice. But no, anyways, at that point I knew what I was doing the following year. I just needed to get track experience there for what's to come now in round 2 of this year. So I think it ticked the box that, I feel really comfortable in the car after the testing we've done. So I'm just glad I've been there so that I'm familiar with the challenges to come.
Yeah, and you tested in Abu Dhabi at the end of last season, and of course you've just participated in the Bahrain testing. Have there been any significant improvements to that car over the winter?
We've definitely been working hard. The engineers have been flat out trying to make any gains that we can, and let's just say I'm very confident with where we're sat.
Sounds good. Sounds like we need to watch out for you. Talking about circuits, are there any racetracks that you've always wanted to race at that you're going to have the opportunity to do this season?
Well, there's only 2 tracks I've never been to on the calendar, which is Baku and Imola. Imola is obviously a pretty special one. So I guess we'll go with that.
So you raced at Monaco?
I did in Formula Renault. I did.
Of course. So of course you got Baku, the street circuit, but I think it's is a very different experience. So hopefully we'll catch up with you after that, so you can at least tell us how Baku differed to Monaco. So
For sure.
Well, finally, what are your expectations this year, of the team, and where would you personally like to finish in the Drivers' Championship?
I try to keep expectations out of it. I just, from my point of view, I just want to I want to go into it and deliver the best results I can. And sort of, as I said earlier, as long as I feel like I've done the best I can, I've prepped as hard as I can, I've put in all the effort, then I can't be disappointed with the outcome. So yeah, I'm just going to try and deliver the best results I can, and wherever that leaves us, it leaves us.
Yeah. Well, I said finally, but I think I want to sort of ask you one more question, really, and it's going back to the US and your nationality, and it has been a long time since we've seen a successful driver come out of the USA, and how does that feel to you? Do you feel like you have a certain weight on your shoulders, or are you imagining the pride as an American athlete of being able to represent your country at a very high level?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, that's what I want. I want to be the best, the best driver coming out of America in a long time to really, show what we can do. In terms of pressure, I feel like I put more pressure on myself than what anyone else can put on me. So I have my self expectations, which are higher than what anyone else has for me. So the pressure's nothing I've never dealt with in the past.
Sounds good. I cannot wait to watch your season unfold, Logan. It has been absolutely fantastic to chat. Thank you so much for joining me today. And we at Inside F2 wish you the very best of luck this season on your road to F1.
No worries. Thank you very much.
And also thank you at home for tuning in. If you join us on our social media channels by following, liking and subscribing, there you can keep up with all our Formula 2 news and gossip this season.